Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, last time I got everything looking pretty okay. I started rendering the hair, and it's so fluffy, and it makes me so excited. I'm very pleased with it. And man, it has been very hard for me to not work on this while off stream. It really has. I have just wanted to go poke at it a little bit more, but I have to wait. Have to be patient. So I have been looking forward to today so I can keep doing a little bit more. Anyway, last time I think I mentioned that I thought that the body might have been just a little bit too small, or I probably phrased it as the head is a little bit too big. And rather than make the head smaller, since I started rendering it, and sometimes using transform tools can make the edges blurry and I kind of have to go over them again and it's annoying, I'm just making the body, the part that I haven't rendered, a little bit larger. Let me see. How's that? Is that a little better? That is a little better. It wasn't that far off anyway. I had to remember that this was actually coming to mind while I was drawing Cube the other day, and that I'm pretty sure Iofif's model is only like 6 heads tall. So I don't have to worry too much. Also, this hair clip is giant. I totally forgot that I am looking at this hair from a slightly different angle, so I actually think that it is much more correct for it to be significantly smaller. It's pretty small on the model itself, so I think I'd probably make it even a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's a lot better. Let me see, is it in the right place vertically? Kinda... Nah, it should be a little bit higher up here. A little bit closer to where the end of the hair tie thing is going to be. Yeah, the headband. I'm not sure why I forgot the word headband, but there we go. Okay. And I think that's about it for stuff I want to correct. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and finish rendering her hair, at least the top part here. This part I might do later, because I want to. I have been looking at the hair, just chomping at the bit. I want to work on the thing. So today we're doing hair. It's so fluffy. And then after that, I'm gonna zoom out again just to explain. I looked at my big paint splotches. The pink is hidden right now, don't worry about it. But yes, I looked at them all, and I'm pretty happy with how they look. I just need to kind of finalize the exact positions of everything and the exact shapes. But basically, I think what I have is... It's just a matter of making it shine. A matter of letting it get to that point of perfection. So... after I let myself finish drawing the hair like I want, I'm gonna go ahead and do the paint. The foreground paint. The background paint will probably come after I basically finish rendering her. Probably. I might do a little bit of work on it just to verify the composition and some of that stuff. As always, sometimes there's just random stuff I need to see. Which means I have to do a little bit of work on stuff. But the plan is I tend to like to work on stuff in the foreground first. I like... My process is basically the opposite of a traditional painter's, where I start with all the stuff in front and then work my way back. And I just find that easier in digital, because, you know, the reason a traditional painter would want to start from the background and work their way forward is so that this way all these background elements and whatnot, like, they're all in place. And he can just paint on top. And you don't have to worry about just carefully going around things that you've already painted. Like, just imagine if I was doing all this on one layer. Like, suddenly going backwards would be a lot harder. But for me, I have layers. So I can afford to do the things in front first. So this way I know how much I have to pay attention to the stuff in back. Like, you can see that this hair is partially covering her eye. So I do not have to worry about the part of the eyelash that is under this hair. I do not have to care. I might draw a little bit of it just to make sure that I have things in the proper place. But I don't have to be very detailed about it. I can just go. So I do vastly prefer doing the things in front when I can. So the foreground tends to be one of the early things that I do. One of the places where digital is nice. Layers are super convenient. When I was a baby painter and just getting started, I actually used to paint entirely on one layer because I found managing layers to be a little bit difficult. Yeah, and to an extent it is. You get used to it. But, you know, I'm really glad that I did because, man, now I can just move things around more easily, and it is great. It is wonderful. So here, I am largely just using the shapes that I've already drawn, and I'm just kind of cleaning them up a little bit. But that's not to say that my brain is off here, because one thing that I think is important to do when, well, trying just about anything really, anything organic, but I think is very noticeable in hair, is you don't want each of the clumps to be like the exact same size. So you can see I have this thick one over here on the side, and then I have, you know, this tiny little light part going in here, and then a thicker one, and then this part gets thin, and this part's thick, and this line over here is going to be a lot thicker. This one's really thick, and then there's a couple of thin ones over here. You know, you gotta vary that width, otherwise it gets kind of boring. And it just doesn't look real anymore. It just doesn't. And I mean, I might be drawing an anime, but that doesn't mean that I can't take inspiration from real life. Because when it comes down to it, these pictures, even if they are an anime, are still meant to depict something real, something that people can understand. So, paying attention to how things work in real life and deciding which elements of life you want to steal and which parts you want to ignore, I think is one of the fun things about stylization. You kind of get to mold your own reality. Create your own universe. It's too interesting. This is why I can never stick with just one style. Too much work. Hello there, Yeti Kitty. Let me see here. That little edge. What's going on there? And as always, sometimes I do need to invert the colors in order to properly kind of see what's going on here. I might actually invert the colors on the face for a bit, so we might have weird void face Eofi for a little while. But for now, we'll just have weird green hair Eofi for just a sec here. I do try to get the edges as clean as possible so that this way I have to do stuff like this as little as possible. But I never quite get it completely right the first time, and that's fine. I just go through and fix it afterward. It's totally fine. Aw. That's nice. Look, giant stuffed animals are great. Then you could just stick them on the ground and just flop on them. Okay. Gonna fill in right there a little bit too while I'm here, and indeed, I think I will invert her face so I can see a little bit better. I'm gonna hide her eyes for a moment. And we're gonna have weird void face Iofi for a second. Okay. There we go. Now I can see it. Pretty sure I'm shorter than you. Yeah. So. There you go. Okay, let's see here. So I have a strand here. I think I do want to let this clump be a little bit thicker, but I do want some light to go down there. So let's put some light in here. I'll just keep this strand nice and short. Oh, I'm sure if you tell her that next time you see her, she'll be very happy. I think to an extent, people do like to be missed. Okay. Now I'm just getting into relaxing, brain-dead rendering mode. And I mean, even though I said that I'm not turning off my brain entirely, this is still pretty easy. It's still pretty simple. All the decisions have been made, so now I just kinda gotta grind out the rest and get everything where I want it. Get all these little triangle shapes that I repeat over and over again. Looking exactly the way I want. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do these tips first. So, let's see here. What do I want to do with you? You can see that I kind of drafted a little bit first, but then I zoom in close. And I kind of perfect what I drafted. So this is where I kind of have to go in there. Probably something like this. Oh, did you learn a lot? Was it at least interesting? And I'll have like an ultra thin one there. That looks pretty nice, I think. Oh, excellent. It's okay. Learning new things is a good time. This wasn't intentional, but I kind of dig it, so I'll go ahead and leave another little tiny one right there. Let's make this one longer. There we go. The ones down here can be short. And that one can be long. And they all kind of combine into this one big strand here. I think that makes sense in my head, so I'm gonna keep it like that. And then I'll have this nice big thick clump right here. Yeah, just like that. I think that's pretty good. And you can see that some things are getting erased, some things are changing around a little bit. And that's fine, because I mean, what I had before, I was way zoomed out. Way zoomed out. And I was just trying to get the general gist of things here, and now I'm doing the specifics, so it's only natural that things will change once I can actually, you know, kind of see what I'm doing. I very deliberately placed the initial colors on when I can't see what I'm doing much. It kind of lets me focus on where I actually think the big picture is. And that big picture is important. Do I want a line there? Yes. Yes, I do. But I think I can leave it just like that. So now I'm just kind of smoothing out the edge here. There are parts of it that still look a little blobby to me. And I am very particular about my shapes. Meanwhile, I'd been, looking around at art history related stuff again, because, you know, sometimes it's fun to see how art has changed over the years. And, you know, how it's different across cultures and stuff. And I still just find that my favorites are the super ancient things. I like the really old stuff. But I just always think it's really interesting because, like, when we're talking about, like, ancient Incan art or a lot of early medieval stuff and mosaics and a lot of these pretty things, there's a lot of emphasis on shapes, and I think when it comes down to it, I just really like shapes. I was kind of... It was making me think about things while I was taking a look at this drawing here before stream. And I wear glasses in real life, so I was there wiping off all the dirt off my glasses. And I realized that I could still see everything about this picture perfectly, even though I'm basically blind without my glasses. Like, everything was super blurry. But I could still make out everything, and so I'm wondering if my poor eyesight has actually contributed to my love of distinct shapes, if that makes sense. So I just found that kind of interesting, of just what is it about people that draws them to certain aesthetics? And legit, I am wondering if it's because I'm basically blind in real life that I ended up liking things like this. With clear shapes, clear distinctions between colors, and all of these things. So that was kind of interesting to think about. Because it's like, even when I think about my more realistic drawings, when I go into semi-realism territory, I tend to have more extreme lighting. So even then, the distinction between light areas and dark areas are very clear to me. And I've been practicing drawing faces very quickly. That's why you've been getting a bunch of headshots in my short speed lately. Actually, I forget. Did I remember to post my most recent drawing on YouTube? I don't think I did. I think I forgot again. Oh no. All right. Well, I'll do that after stream. But basically what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to draw faster, and I was doing some looking around at photo references again, as I find that is a good place to start when you're trying to learn something new about drawing. And I just was looking through them and seeing, okay, what do I see in this face? How do I see this face? And I'm just like, oh, yes. There's this big ol' shadow right here, and then there's a big ol' light right here. And I just saw these big shapes. The big shapes, they are what I see. And I just found that very interesting. It probably did inform a lot of my stylistic choices. So now I'm just wondering, people that either go heavy on the line art or use really muted, desaturated colors, or a lot of these other things that I don't do. I wonder how they see the world. I just wonder, what is it that they're seeing that makes that particular choice interesting to them? What makes them decide to draw that way? So I don't know. When I post the time lapse for this drawing, I think I'm gonna do a voiceover for it this time. Maybe. I haven't been doing that for a lot of the stream ones because I'm just like, yeah, if you want my commentary, just go watch the stream VODs. It's fine. It's all there. But I might do a voiceover for this one. We'll see. And I've been thinking about what I want to talk about, and I think something around there might be kind of interesting, of just how do I see the world and why do I want to draw like this? Art is neat. Moral of the story, art is neat. Go draw. Listen to me ramble and just draw something while I ramble. It'll be great. Alright. So here I was trying to figure out how I wanted this little clump of hair to look. And I think I got it. I think this looks pretty good. Everything's gotta be spinny. And I am still getting used to this pen nib, I swear. Still feels weird. I get the feeling it'll feel weird for a little while longer still. But it's alright. I'll get used to it. I will get used to it. It's just gonna take me a little bit of time. It's fine. This one, I think I'm just gonna leave totally shadowed, though. Which one I let come into the light and which ones I decide stay in the darkness, it's pretty arbitrary. It's whatever I happen to think looks nice at the time. Might let him have just a little tiny bit of light on him, though. There we go. Okay. So, there's the tips. Are they looking good? Can see a little bit of voidy Ophi here. But yes, I think they're looking quite good. The hair just looks so fluffy, and I'm so happy. Just looking at it makes me happy. That's the way art should be. I swear, today I am not going to want to stop This would be one of those days where if I didn't have kids, I'd probably stream for 8 hours and have a great time. Alright, let's put some of this dark color around the hairband here. I don't think I want this area to be, like, closed here, so let's go ahead and kind of end it there. And I'll just put a little bit more around here. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I'm definitely not going to make it complicated. But I do want a little bit of darkness around the hairband here. I think it'll make it look like it's going into her hair a little bit more. Strictly speaking, the way I have this structure doesn't really make much sense, but it's fine. It is. I think it will look just fine. Okay, but before I get super into that, I want to get the top of this area here and just finish her super fluffy bangs. Super fluffy bangs that just make me happy. And then I can worry about the side of her head here and the big strand coming out there. I'm just going to do this one group at a time, and I want to get this curve, like, just right. But unfortunately, I have a terrible dexterity score, so it takes me a couple of tries to get curves the way that I want them. I can't just draw them right at the first time. I'm working on it, but there's only so much I can do with bodily limitations. It's terrible, I tell you. Never get old kids. I say that, but honestly, I wasn't that much better when I was 20. So, there you go. Okay. So I actually kind of like the way that I have all this structured already, so I don't think I need to change that much. What I do need to do, however, is properly tuck away my headphone cord because it keeps bumping against my arm and driving me nuts. It's like, look, headphones, I already have enough of a debuff here. Just from existing as me, I don't need help to mess up my lines more. Okay, so how am I going to turn this into... from blobs into something that looks nice? I like this, I guess. Seems effective. And let's see, how is this, like... do I have this curve this way now? I think so. I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna make this one a little bit shorter just so it doesn't, like, ram into this quite so hard. So once again, even though most of the decisions have been made, I do have to think about certain things occasionally. Can never sleep when you are arting. Gotta be aware of everything. Okay. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. And I will repaint my dark colors there in just a sec. I will definitely need to. I do want to keep these kind of dark strands underneath the hairband there. Even though, strictly speaking, the light is coming in that direction, I want to keep this kind of dark line just to make it look like her hair is kind of sinking into the hairband there. Because I think that kind of thing looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just draw that first. Where the hairband is kind of pushing down on the hair and making it a little bit more shadowy. And you can see that the actual shadows here, they're much larger. And over there is going to be all in shadow too. But this side is just kind of doing that kind of thing. And I'll just leave a little divot there where the edge of the bangs is. And then all of this was from when I had the hair clip too large, so this is all going to get changed. That's fine. All of it will be different. And we'll just go ahead and go completely around the hairband there. Same with over here. Okay. So that's going to be where all of that is, and then I'll just go ahead and add slight hints of dark spots in the hair. These will not be very large. Not at all. And then there is even going to be a few places where the lighter spots kind of just cut in a little bit. And this is how I make the hair texture in places like this. You don't gotta do a lot. But I think it makes it look a little bit better than just having that solid line there. See? Easy peasy. Okay, then this is going to require a little bit more construction, so I'm not going to worry about that for now. But I think that's it for the front bangs until it's time to go do the highlights. So let's go ahead and start working over here. And I will fix up the side bang and try to figure out what the heck is going on here. Okay. The downside of having to adjust the size of things. And now I have to actually think really hard about how all this is actually supposed to look. Oh no. But it's alright. It'll be easy enough to work through. I just gotta put in the big shapes here. Just gotta get those big shapes in here. So I'm gonna start with where this little bit of side hair there kind of connects with the big side hair. The little side hair and the big side hair, sure. Let's call it that. Gonna clean up some of these. Oops. Accidentally hit C instead of B. Oops. No, we do not need to crop the image. It's fine. Okay, I'll just clean up some of this real quick. This... I think I kind of... Yeah, I want to be doing something kind of like that, where it looks like the hairband is kind of defining the side of this hair, and that's why I said that what I drew didn't, strictly speaking, did not really make much sense. But I think this shape is convincing enough. I think I can make it work. Then we'll put a little bit of darkness around here. And that's fine. From there, I can just go and do what I was doing before. Actually, no, I lied. There's one more thing I want to do. I want this part to look like it's going underneath the little strand here. So I want right there to be darker. Okay. Now I can go back to what I was doing before. There we go, and from there, I just want to do something like this, I think. We'll just keep it pretty simple. I want to give these little strands coming off a little bit of presence, maybe. This one, no, that one's fine. But this one, yes. This one I will let come up a little. Something like that. And then I will just mess around with the edge here and see if I like that. I don't know if I do. I think I'd actually just prefer this entire spot to be light. And I will add hair texture in other ways. Yes. I have many ways of handling this, so I can just focus on making sure that the distinction between this strand and this little clump is quite clear. I do like my shape clarity. Okay, so now I can go in and let's see, how are you actually shaped? Something like this. This, I guess. And you can see that, you know, what I had before is already helping me out. So there we go. Now it's all nice and connected into here. And how do I want to deal with this bit of hair? I think that, like, this part will probably be shadowed. Because it's going to be going underneath this big strand. And then the backside here will be slightly shadowed. And then I just turn this into something that looks a little bit nicer. And it's easy. Super easy. Just carve the shapes out. All is well. I'm actually going to let it go all the way through. Look at those lovely little shapes. Just there doing their thing. I think it's pretty great. Could actually probably even make this a little bit more delicate. Yeah, that seems good. And then the rest of this can just be all shadowed from the hair clip. And I will just make those dark areas look a little bit nicer. Yeah, let's just do it now, actually. I will start with this area. No, I don't think I want to do it on that side, actually. I changed my mind. I think what I will do instead, we'll have this kind of thicker line here, and then I'll put a little thin one right next to it. I think that kind of pattern looks pretty. And then I just need to work out the distinction between these two areas. It's alright. It'll all get there. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So now I will kind of perfect this area. And that'll be it. And I guess I should make this part look a little bit nicer too. I could probably leave it like that, but when it comes to hair, I just like adding vaguely hair-like shapes to it. I think it makes things look a little bit better. Just a little bit better. But before I handle all the stuff in the hair clip, I do want to finish this strand and start connecting it over to this side too. Because then I think I will be pretty sure that I know how this area is going to look, and it'll be ready for those finishing touches. You can't force these things. You gotta let them come. Okay, that seems pretty good. So now I will just add a little bit of stuff here. Just some kind of little triangle shapes here and there. Especially in the areas that are a little bit darker. And then I'll cut in with the lighter color occasionally as well. And I think that's fine. Yep, I think that's fine. Alright. While I have the darker color, I'm going to go ahead and really define the edge of the strand here. Kinda want it like this. And if I have to, I will adjust the hair here. And much like we have Void Iofifteen here, I'm going to make her shirt a little bit void too. What are you then? You're probably the ear. Okay. Void ear as well. We're just gonna invert everything just so I can keep the colors of the hair the right color. Alright. Fortunately, it looks like I can get away with this with no problem at all. And here I thought this kind of cheating would be much harder. But it worked out. It worked out for me this time. And I think it's fine if it kind of looks like it's being pushed down by the hairband just a little bit here. Just a little bit. So now what I want to do is try to get the curve of this strand just right. We'll go ahead and add a little shadow right here. I think that looks pretty good. And as always, it's going to take me a few tries because of dexterity-related dump stats. But it's okay, I'll just carve the shape out, and I will keep carving it until it's exactly the way I want. Have I mentioned that I love digital? So it lets me do things like this. It lets me compensate for my some of my deficiencies a little bit. That and computers are cool. Okay. I think that's about all I need there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the dark spots on the hair clip. Once again, just, you know, add a few triangles and that should be about all this needs. Yep, yep. And through here, add a few little hair strand shapes going down. Don't really have to do anything too special. And just clip into this hair a little bit. Making some little strands a little bit darker than they otherwise would be. I don't know if this is realistic, but I think it makes sense to me, and I think it looks nice. And that's what's really important. Okay, I think that's good. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, looks good to me. This should look pretty fantastic once I get highlights on there. But first, we still got one more strand to work on. So let's go do that. I'll go ahead and add some dark strands here. They're not going to be too big. I was definitely making them too big back there. Definitely make them a little bit too big. But it's okay. I fixed it. I noticed and I went back and was like, no, that's not quite right. Let's go ahead and fix it. I don't think I want this part to be quite so thick. So I'm going to take it back a little. I don't know if I will actually be using the shadow color here. But right now it just doesn't really matter that much what color I use. I just want to get these hair shapes nice, and this is why it always takes me a while to render hair. That, and I swear that anime girls just need 50 pounds of hair to be functional. Okay, seems good. Seems good. So I can see here that I wanted a little bit of light from this strand. So I'll go ahead and let it have that. And I guess it just ends right here. And most of this was just left in shadow, so I just put in a few little light parts because I thought it would look nice. Kind of similar shapes that I'm going to use for the hair highlights once I finish cleaning up this part. I'm glad I was able to start rendering her head here. Because it's definitely one of the most satisfying parts for me. That's when things start to look like really good. And that's when it becomes hard to stop working on it. I just kind of have to get through the early parts, because I mean, in a lot of those headshot drawings that I've been working on, the very beginning of them, I really hated it. I even considered just dropping it and trying again. But I tend to be pretty glad that I didn't do that. Because the results on a lot of them are I'm actually pretty happy with. So I'm glad that I did not kill them. And I just took a deep breath and was like, okay, why do I hate this? Let's fix it. Let's make it better. Okay. So now I've connected this outer part from the bottom to the top here. This one went all the way. It went all the way around. That's an illustrious little shadow there. World traveler. So now I can just kind of focus on cleaning up this top area, and then I'll go back down to the tips again. But first, just want to finish what I'm doing here. But I wanted to kind of check my work further down and make sure that I actually liked this pattern still. And I still think it looks good, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I think I can trust my past self that put down all of these shadow shapes, even though I changed several of them. Just due to hair clip shenaniganry. But so far, I think my past self had some pretty good ideas, so I'm gonna keep them. Alright, she's got this, so I can just stay zoomed in and not have to constantly be zooming in and out and make myself motion sick. I'm mostly joking this time. I do get motion sick easily, but zooming in and out doesn't normally do that. It's really only a problem when I speed things up to, like, you know, 10,000% like I do for my time lapses. So I do like to try to stay zoomed in if I plan to make a time lapse of something. And considering that I do make time lapses of all my stream footage. Well, there you go. I try to stay zoomed in so this way I don't make my viewers motion sick. And now I'm just in a state where I'm trying to get a curve just right again. There we go. I think that's better. I just want a tiny strand in there. There we go. That should be fine. How are we looking? I think we're good. Okay. Yep. Back to the tips. So, man, I keep seeing all these places where I just, like, missed a spot. When I was going through and outlining everything, I left a lot of holes behind. Anywho, time to kind of construct this and decide where I want all my light and shadows to go. I think I want this light to be a little bit thicker than what I currently have. I do not mind it splitting off like that, though. That is fine. That looks very hair-like. That does look pretty hair-like. Okay. And I think this is like the last area I gotta do before highlights. And it's nice because hair tends to be one of the things that takes me the longest to render, so I know that once I've got the hair down, like, get the coat. And honestly, this hair has been extremely satisfying to paint. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I just kind of have to get through it, but nah, I love the hair in this one. This one makes me happy. This one, I could probably work on the hair forever if I was so inclined, but let's not do that. That seems like a terrible idea. I've been able to go on more walks in the morning again, and that's been pretty fantastic. I always prefer doing it either at night or like early morning. Because there's no people out, the sun isn't super intense, so it's not like hot. And at least in the area that I live in, everything is well lit enough that I can see just fine regardless of time. And I just remember last year when I was taking walks at, you know, around this time last year, just in the summer, that I was just being assaulted by armies of grasshoppers as I was trying to go for a walk. But they're not out. They're not out when it's dark out, so it's nice. Instead, I get cute bunnies. And I vastly prefer the cute bunnies. I've been seeing them go around and eating some of the weeds in the yards, and that's pretty cool. Bunnies are cute. The way their little noses twitch when they eat. Very easily spooked, though. It's just always so funny that sometimes, you know, as is natural with bunnies, when you get close to them, they start running away. Because they get scared. Even though, you know, I'm not going to hurt them. I'm just going to leave them alone. But what's funny is that sometimes they'll just run down the sidewalk instead of escaping off to the bushes or somewhere off on the side where I'm not going to walk. And so, sometimes I swear, they must think that I'm chasing them. Because I just keep heading down the sidewalk, you know, as I'm gonna do. As I'm going for a walk. And then they just keep running down the sidewalk. And they have to keep running. And running. Because we just happen to be going in the same direction. And I feel a little bit bad for those bunnies. Actually, speaking of bunnies that I feel a little bit bad for some reason, we keep getting baby bunnies falling down our window well. It happened like 3 times last year and twice this year. It's like I'm not too surprised. Our backyard has lots of trees and bushes. It's very much wild compared to the tame suburbia in my neighbors' yards. So I'm not surprised that they like it. There's lots of places to hide. But the downside is that sometimes bunnies just wander into the window wells. And then they can't get out. And we gotta have to pull them out. Because I don't really want a dead bunny stuck in the bottom of the window. That seems like it would attract many flies. Among other things. And I'd just rather not have that down there. But bunnies are skittish, so every time we go to try to help them, it's always quite the thing to pull them out because they keep trying to run away. But they can't because they're in a hole. So we kind of have to chase them around a bit. They do their best. They do not want to be rescued. But it can be kind of cute because my daughter gets very excited at the prospect of rescuing the bunnies. And she is just adorable, I swear. Okay, and through that, much progress was made on the hair. It's all coming together. It's almost there. Just got a few more strands to shade. This is another place that I feel like if I can get better at making the strokes I want to make in 1 or 2 sweeps of my pen instead of the, you know, like a dozen that it takes me right now, I feel like I could save a lot of time. And with one of my focuses being, okay, how do I draw faster? It's definitely something I think about. So I am trying to be more conscious and careful of how I make my strokes so that this way I don't have to go over it quite so many times. And maybe someday I will be able to draw hair fast. Someday. I believe. I believe. I think I can believe in myself here. I'll get there. Just gotta keep practicing. But man, it'll be so great if I can draw fast. I mean, just imagine if those little headshots that I've been posting lately, like if I could actually finish them in a few hours instead of the longer length of time that it takes me. Like, it's faster than what I've been doing. But I'd really like to get to the point where I can draw one of those in, like, maybe 4 hours or less. Ideally less, but I mean, there is a degree of polish on them that I could accept it taking longer than that. It would be pretty sweet if I could get it into speed paint territory where I could do it in an hour or less. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I just realized a while ago that a lot of my current artistic goals, just even besides art streaming, I actually do think being faster will help me a lot there, but even just besides that, it's like I'm kind of interested in animation. I'm kind of interested in doing comics. Both of these things require me to be able to draw fast, and I just cannot right now. So, I want to fix that. Normally, it's like I'd say, don't worry about how long it takes you, you'll get there. But in my case, a lot of my current artistic goals actually legitimately do require me to be able to draw faster than I currently do. So, I have been practicing hard. Speaking of, if you guys ever have a request for something that you'd like me to draw in a headshot, while I'm still practicing drawing heads fast, you know, do let me know. You can reply to the post that I make whenever I post my art. I forget if I posted the one that I uploaded today on YouTube. I forget if I did. I don't think I did, so don't worry, I'll do that. That'll happen like right after stream, don't worry about it. But yeah, you can just reply to that and be like, hey, Planckera, draw this thing. And I'll be like, let's do it. Let's do it. Sounds fantastic. I don't know, is that a little plain? Let me stare at this for a second. How do I feel about this? I don't know. I still feel like this one could use a little bit more texture somewhere. I don't know if I want to pull that all the way up, though. Maybe I should just pull this one up, then. Then I think I'll pull this up a little bit, too. Okay, and you know what? You too. Okay, how's that? Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. I'm gonna have to go back and clean up those areas, but that's fine. I can do that. Cleanup's not that big a deal. Especially in exchange for more interesting hair. See what I mean? It's taken me a little while to get that line shaped the way I want it. So it would be nice to be able to do it a little bit faster. That's what I want to do. I want to be fast. As fast as the Planckera. Sounds fantastic to me. Go so fast I break physics. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I can also add a little shadow here to make things a little bit more interesting. Let's do it. Just a little guy. Okay. Now I can go back to cleaning up these areas I just added. Nope, making that too thin. Now I just want to perfect that curve a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then I just clean here. And all will be well. And all will be well. Okay. Let me see here. Man, I really made this part really thin. So I'm having to be a little bit more precise. Little bit more precise. Okay. Seems good. All right. There we go. We got some hair. Let's go ahead and give him some highlights. Let's see, I think I might want these highlights to be a little bit shinier. Oh no, not the hair, not the hair. Hair is perfect. Hair is just as shiny as it needs to be. Okay, there we go. That looks a little bit shinier. And it looks like I changed the location of enough stuff that I might just have to clear these and draw them again. But that's pretty normal. I always just like to kind of have a rough in there to make sure that I have the hair looking the way it should. But it's actually pretty normal for me to redraw these. That's why I never spend that long on the initial ones. Do I have these go in the right direction? Let me start from this side here. I'm just gonna draw some lines here. It'll be great, and it does look like everything is going where it needs to go, so I'm good. Nice. I do think I'll put some little ones up here by the root. Well, I guess these aren't roots. This is just a part being pulled into the headband. But nonetheless, I still want some little guys up there. Just some little guys. Gonna make her hair extra shiny. Nice and shiny indeed. And then some big old ones right around here. Okay, and I think that should be good. I just gotta kind of clean them up a little bit, as is tradition. But yeah, those locations look pretty good to me. So let's go on in and really make them look nice. And I can show you what I do to make hair look really, really shiny. It'll be great. I love making hair shiny. The hair here today is just so fluffy, and I'm so happy with it. It's got like the ideal amount of spin in it. I got it the way I wanted it. It is how I want it to be, and so I am very, very happy. Life is good. Life is good when art cooperates with you. So you can see I'm not changing too much about it. Sometimes I'm just fixing up whether it goes up against a shadow or cleaning up a particular shape. Like, you know, everything there is round and I don't want it to be round. I don't want it to be round. Hair is kind of pointy. At least when it's anime. So I gotta make it pointier. And I gotta make it rub up against my shadows correctly. Hello there, Lazy Tofu. How are you doing today? Let's make this one a little bit longer. I think that'll look nice. Thank you! I've been working hard on it, and I am pretty pleased with how it's turning out. So just going through and working on hair right now. Only planning on doing my top hair layer. Thank you. Yeah, this is fan art of Iofifteen from Hololive. So it's not my design, but I do think her bow is quite cute too. She has one of the simpler designs, but I think it is very cute. All right, and I think that does it for those highlights. I think those look pretty good. Nice. How's that turning out? Excellent. Well, I wish you luck with it. Art is great fun, so it always makes me happy when I see other people making things too. Thank you! So far, I am indeed having great luck. I feel like things are going pretty well. Definitely had a bit of a rough spot at the beginning, but then I switched to a simpler pose, and now everything seems to be working out. Let's see, this one, I think I want it to go the other direction here. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh, you're gonna go to the Grand Canyon. Very nice. Are you out on vacation? Although, I mean, I guess you're saying that you have to go now. But well, I'm under the impression that it is a lovely area. So I hope you have a nice vacation. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, that area of the world is very nice. I too enjoy cool rock formations. Well, thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. I will do my best. Okay, got a nice highlight there. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and get these guys before I forget about them. Because I almost did. The joy of white hair making highlights, like, nigh invisible. Okay, and that should be fine. Go ahead and grab these ones. Like, I can often spend a pretty long time just doing hair highlights, but it's like when the hair is already white and they barely show up at all, it's like, I don't know. This is fine. No need to spend an eternity on it. They're just there to add some nice subtle shininess, I guess, to everything. I mean, like I said, this week, we're making everything shiny. So it's only natural that I start the shiny week off with making shiny hair. Makes sense to me. Let's make the hair extra shiny. I do like making hair shiny. That much I can tell you. And you know what? I've been kind of thinking about it. But I think I might add some special lighting to this as well. The whole picture, not just the hair. But I haven't really thought about it that much, so I might do some experimentation with that at some point, but right now, just gotta get this hair done. Oh, well, there we go. That's right, I was right at the end anyway. Look, sometimes I can just get into the zen of hair drawing and forget that I'm, like, at the end. And that I am, in fact, working on the final highlight here. So there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and let her have her face back. Now that I have drawn all the things. There we go. And there we go. So yeah, I'm not gonna do this bit of hair yet. I would want to do, like, at least her head shape first before I start touching that and probably a bunch of stuff with the paint. But there we go. Let's go ahead and make those highlights shiny now. There are things I can do to make them even shinier. Gotta make things even shinier. So let me go into 100% here. I duplicate the layer, and then I add a quick little blur here. Kinda makes them look like they're glowing. And then I also add a layer on top. I grab the same color I used for the highlight, and I just very gently brush over everything here. Every place I added highlights gets a little tiny bit of brushing. This is probably the least necessary step, but I do think it adds a little extra something. Maybe not so much on white hair, but... Okay. But I can't leave it there, because when I brush over everything... Alright, I forgot right here again. These poor little guys. But yeah, when I brush over everything like that, I brush over the highlights too. Or I brush over the shadows, rather. I brush over them too. And no, you got to keep your shadows dark. So I go through and I erase the parts that go on the shadows. And I make sure that there is no highlight residue on any of my shadows. Doing so, leaving any highlight residue on shadows is just criminal, because it makes them light and totally destroys the contrast and texture that I worked so hard to build up. So, I like the way it makes it look on areas without the shadows, but I gotta get rid of it on the shadows. Gotta do it. Doesn't take that long, though. And I do think it makes everything just look a little bit shinier. You know what? I'm just gonna call this layer shiny in all caps. Gotta do stuff to keep yourself sane while drawing. Gotta have a sense of humor. Very important. Very, very important. All right. Making sure I don't miss any spots here. Gotta get them all. I mean, I just went on an entire tangent on why it's important, so I just don't want to mess with my values. And get rid of all this nice contrast. So I just go through with my soft brush. I click this button up here to turn it into an eraser. Because I find it better than the little kneaded eraser that Krita has. I just prefer using the airbrush as an eraser. And then I clean it all up. And then it looks great. And look how shiny that hair looks. So shiny. It's so shiny. And there we go. That's that part done. So, stretch. And then there's... Oh, I need to fix her shirt. Hold on. I forgot that I inverted her shirt too. Okay, here we go. So, the big things I want to do. I want to get the shape of this paint right. Right now, it's just a simple spiral because I just wanted to get my ideas down. And let me go turn the paint on above her head back on there. Okay, and let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mess with the lighting, actually. So there's two ways I can go about this. I can do it on everything, or I can do it on just Eofy. How do I want to do this? I get to show you guys a neat magic trick. Because you can add some really cool dynamic lighting at the end without having to pull a bunch of shenanigans. And let me tell you, it's pretty great. So I'm just kind of deciding how I want to do this. How do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to do it on Eofy, and then if I need more, I will add it to another group. So I'm going to make a layer in my Eofy group. Like, here, I'm going to go walk on over here for a second so you can see my layers. See? They're right there. Right here. Now then. So I just made a layer called lighting. And I'm going to set it to multiply. And then I'm going to go over to the color wheel and find a nice kind of desaturated purple. And I'm going to paint over everything that I want to be dark. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on alpha here. You see? So this will make it so it's only on Eofi in theory. Yeah. If I hover over the group, unfortunately, OBS cannot capture this. It does indeed show that I only have Eofi in this group. I'm actually pretty sure that I have the pink paint in there too. So I'll have to be careful about that, but that's fine. And what I want to do is I want to add some darkness to her lower body here, out the side there. Probably not on her hair. I think I want it to be a little bit darker as well, so I'll just hit Control U on my keyboard and pick a color I prefer. And then I need to pick up the color, so I gotta set this to normal. You can see it's actually pretty light purple. And yet it makes things that dark. Because it's magic. Okay, I'll put a little bit under her chest here. I don't want it to be on the paint. But that's okay. I will fix it a little bit later. I'll put a little bit under her chin. Right now, this is just going to be very quick and dirty. And I think that's about all I want. Okay. And I do indeed think that I kind of want some stuff on the paint here. I think I'm going to leave the yellow part out of this. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go make another lighting layer. And I'm going to go and put some dark parts behind Eofi too. And just behind her. Not any shadows from the paint, strictly from her. Strictly from her. Add a little bit more contrast, because like her hair is super white. It's really, really light. So any kind of dark spot that I put back here is going to look really good. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back up to the top, and I'm going to make one called Shine. And this one's going to be set to Edition, and I am terrible at picking colors for it. So, I'm probably going to be using hue saturation a lot, but that's fine. And I'm going to just add some stuff to her face. I told you, it's going to look pretty bad at first. So, typically I start with Edition. Sometimes I use Color Dodge or Screen instead, depending on what I think looks good. But we're going to add some nice color here. I started with yellow because I tend to like the way yellow looks. But it may or may not be yellow. Okay. I can't find anything good with Edition, so let me try some of the other ones. Maybe Hard Light might even look good here. Obviously not with that color, but... Now, Hard Light is a little bit too colorized. I want this to be light. We're gonna make her sing today. That's how I always describe the getting... Like, at this stage, everything looks pretty okay. But it's not done. It's not singing for me yet. And that's how I always see it. Once my picture sings, then I know it's ready. Okay, I think this should look good. Wow, that's a dark color. Anyway. So I'll go ahead and add some lights now. And let's see, where else do I want some lights? I probably want some on the hand. Up in the brush, yes, definitely. And then, with the way that I have this lit, I think I want it on this side of her. I'll put some out on her bangs here and on the headband. This isn't quite singing for me, though, you know? I think it's better. I like it. But I don't hear the music. I don't feel like I can make this any lighter, though. So I have to think about this for a second. Let's see. It's probably going to be I just add some effects to the paint. I think that's going to be how things shake out. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my corner. I feel safe in the corner. There we go. Okay. So. Yeah. Nice, easy way to add some light. And I do think that some of the paint is going to need some light and shadows too, but I'll add that later. I'll add that later. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn off all the lighting effects that I put in for now, just because they will kind of mess up my colors if I happen to pick them at the wrong time, and that would be awkward, and there's stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start perfecting the shape of these things. So I don't actually know what paint looks like when it's being flung about. So let's go fling some paint. Like, I see a bunch of paint splatter, but no, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Now I just have to figure out how to turn that into what I got here. Do we have it in anime form? Not obviously. Okay. Let me see. Man, I look for thick paint flying and I get pictures of birds. Makes sense, I guess. In its own way. I'm just looking around for a second. Okay, I think I got some ideas here. Because I want to keep it nice and splattery, but at the same time, I want it to be... Like what makes the splatter is when it hits something, right? So the splatter will be good for the background ones. But for this big yellow one, this isn't hitting anything. It's just spinning around. Sneeze. It's just spinning around. Well, alright. I think I got some shapes I can look at. I'm probably gonna end up destroying a bunch of these colors, so that's fine. So let's see, how do I do this? I need some spots that like go super thin. Wrapping your head around something that you've never drawn before is hard. Okay. Okay, this is where photo reference saves lives. So I'm just gonna put in some shapes here. I'm actually gonna carve into the area around the brush a little bit so we see a little bit more of it. And then I can come back out. I'm gonna invert these colors just to make them really, really clear, since I'm focusing on kind of the outer edge here. And then I think this I can afford to like just get super duper thin. I'm gonna I'm just gonna... that's not the kind of shape that this makes, right? It kind of does. Okay, no, I can do something like that. So I'm just being very particular about everything here now, because, I mean, I'm getting to the point where the painting is going to be finished, right? Everything is going to be finished up soon. So, the painting needs to get to its final form. So I gotta be particular about literally everything now. Because if I leave something in a place that I don't like it, then... well, I mean, that's just how the picture's gonna look, right? I don't want to leave things in a form that I don't like. That would just be sad. That would just be so sad. Let's see, Krita does have a splatter brush. I think I'll use that to kind of help me out too. I can't really use the splatter brush on its own. I need to trace over it because the splatter brush has really, really soft edges and it has like opacity and stuff on it. And that's not something that I want. So I'll be putting it on a new layer, and I guess I will make it... I want it to be a color that'll be very, very clear to me. We'll make it hot pink. Oh no, this is too hot pink. I can't use hot pink. Dang, that's like my go-to. How about cyan then? Yeah. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit of splattering in a few places. And then I can go over that with my normal brush and actually kind of make it look the way that I want. I don't have to get them all, but this way I at least have kind of a rough idea of where to put things, and I am not gonna get trapped by my brain wanting to put order in all of this when it should be pure chaos. Brains are kind of nasty like that. Like, if you've ever seen a little kid try to draw a star field, they often will just put all the stars equal distance from each other. And something about the uniformity just feels very wrong. So that is what I'm trying to avoid here, and that's where splatter brushes like this are really useful, because they'll make things really random. And then I can just kind of use the actual kind of brush that I want with the randomness that the brush provides. I actually don't think I want these ones out here. I don't think they look good. And I guess this one can stay too. There's some residue from before. I should probably be doing this later, but I need to get my ideas down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. Let me look at some of the thicker blobs then. Okay. So we're just gonna make this blobbing all over the place. I don't quite know what to expect here, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Just gonna try to get all of these nice shapes in there that I kind of see on this guy being hit with a bunch of paint. Okay, and so far it's doing what I want, so I'd say things are going well. And after I do this one, I'll do the ones around her hair. And I think that's all I'll do for now. And when I'm ready to actually work on her lower body, then I'll do the ones down here. And then once I have her completely drawn, then I will do the 2 blobs in the back. Okay, time to make this look super paint. Actually, I think I'm just gonna let this one be completely divided off. It's just gonna be a blob. There's gonna be a few more blobs. This one can just have a blob kind of coming off here. Okay, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then there'll just be some more blobs and stuff periodically that are doing blobby things and flying all over the place. Okay. Yeah, now that I've kind of seen the kind of shapes that I want to use here, that's why I was a little bit more particular about what I was doing over here. Because I wanted to see the kinds of shapes. But now I have an idea of what's going on. Now I have some idea. And I can just... I can be a little bit rougher with the rest of these things. Because now I kind of feel like I know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna be rough for now. We're just gonna go through the whole thing. And there's gonna be a bit of roughness to it. Actually, that looks pretty okay. Yeah, I'll make this part bigger, but I think that looks alright. And then from there... I'll be able to go back through and actually, like, make this look nice. Do I like that? Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, so back to big shapes and big ideas. That's what we're doing now. I've gotten my basic ideas down there. I understand what it is I need to be doing. So now I just gotta go do it. Just gotta do it. But everything should look a lot better, you know, once I do it. Because it should look a little bit more like paint. The effect should be stronger. And with any luck, I can just kinda perfect the 2 that I plan on doing today. And we can worry about the other 3 later. Let me switch this back around now and start seeing how things are looking. Oh yeah, this definitely has some energy to it. It's getting there. It's getting there. Still have a long way to go, but it's getting there. It's a lot better than it was when I started today, and I think that's what's important. So, here we are. And I will definitely add some more splatter later. But I don't want to get caught up in those details. Not anymore. But a lot of this is kind of scratchy. So that'll be something I kind of have to fix. I want to cut into this guy a little bit. He's not blobbing in the right way. Gotta blob in the right way. Very important. Very, very important. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hide her arm for now. She can just have a nice lovely stump for a little while. Until I figure out how all of this is gonna shake out. It's just such a mess. It's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna invert the color again just so I can see which parts of this is blue and therefore on the layer that I'm working on, and which parts are still yellow and therefore on the back layer that I have elsewhere. And I will try to keep their respective parts together. You're going that way, right? Yes. Yes, yes. We're just gonna get a complete vortex of paint here. I feel for whoever has to clean this up. This is why I've told the grandparents, no paint at the house. Because I know that my kids would do exactly this, and it would be kind of fantastic. But at the same time, if it got in anything important, I'd be sad. Right now, things seem kind of angular in a lot of places, so let's go ahead and blob this out just a little. Blob it all out. Make it pure blobbiness. Actually, no, that looked pretty good. What am I? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. No, I don't like that though. That part didn't quite pan out. Okay. So I think this will get me started. I will worry about this kind of back portion in a little bit. Let's go ahead and zoom in and clean this up a little. I'm going to take one more look at the flying paint. Okay. This way I can know which areas to cut into, which areas to blob outward, and all that good stuff. And I mean, you can see that I am destroying all the values that I put down. All the shading is like going to be so messed up, but that is okay. That is actually so unbelievably okay, it's hard to believe. And it'll make this part that I'm working on now so much easier to draw, so it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. And I knew that it would happen when I put them down. And that was just some color and compositional checks. That's why I didn't spend very long on it. Not at all. Not at all. I just wanted to pick the colors, make sure they all looked nice. So that this way I would be ready for the step that I'm doing now. Where I really define the outer edge and make this effect just perfect. And oh man, do I love it. It's going well. Okay, so, well, the good news about paint splatters is that I can draw pretty much whatever I want and it'll kind of work out as long as I have the right kind of shapes, and so I kind of get to play around. Just move my brush around and see what happens. It's kind of interesting, honestly. And I can see that the kind of lines I make are very, very angular. So I find that fascinating. I find that fascinating. Kind of interesting to see what kind of marks you make when you're not really thinking about it. And you're just kind of going. Okay. Now... Yeah, this is probably going to take a while. I kind of hope that I can finish these two blobs today, though. I think I can. And next time, I'll just start rendering them all proper and getting everything looking the way that I want it to. We'll be approaching the end. Feels weird to be saying that at episode what? I think this is 6. Especially since I spent a bunch of time working on a pose I ended up not using. So it looks like my attempts to speed up are going well, so that makes me happy too. Because Yuyuko took much longer, so I am pleased. I am very pleased. Oh man, though. Really, it's gonna take a while to go through all this. Really gonna take a while. Oh well. It'll be cool. So it's fine. I'll see what kind of thumbnails YouTube gives me today. Is it going to be zoomed in on hair or is it going to be zoomed in on paint? Place your bets. Place your bets. Okay, and I want these dots to be a little bit more splattery, so let's go ahead and give them tails. I'm definitely gonna have to add a ton more of these in order to make this right, but this is fine for now. Gotta start somewhere, and that somewhere is like this apparently. Seems legit. Okay. Let's just go ahead and add a few little tails here too. Just make them a little bit more interesting shaped. And I think that's probably good for there. And yep, so just time to continue down, I guess. Sure is. Sure is. And occasionally I'll just cut out little holes because I see that kind of pattern all the time in these big paint groups and the references I was looking at. That's where it's nice, because now I actually know what flying paint looks like, because I checked. I looked it up. So now I actually know what to draw. And I'm not just kind of making stuff up and hoping for the best. So that is the power of photo reference. Yay! Go ahead and connect this actually. Man, but it's just a lot of small, detailed things. And I want to get these shapes right. It's important. This is like right in the front, in the foreground. So I want to make sure that I have it right. How should you be shaped? Maybe something like this. Yeah, that seems pretty legit. Let's do it. Maybe even with the fold here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. At the very least, once I have a vague understanding, I can kind of just repeat a lot of the same ideas over and over again, and it'll be okay. No, I mean, even just looking at the thumbnail up here, it looks like a proper tsunami of paint. Whereas before, it just looked more like a random blob, so I think I'm on the right track. Like I said, I've just never drawn something like this before, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And that's why I looked up what it looked like. So this way I could get a basic understanding of what I was working with here. As I mentioned before, even though this is an anime, it's still kind of an imitation of real life, so what's going on in real life does have some relevance. Stylization just means I get to pick which parts I embrace and which parts I ignore. That's kind of what makes it fun. Phew. Okay, well, I've gotten to the point where the beginning is now off the screen, so I have, like, officially gotten started, I guess. Yep. Sure have. Okay. I'm just having to think a little bit harder than I usually do when I'm rendering. Because, well, like I said, I haven't drawn flying paint like this before. So I'm just kind of making it up as I go. So my brain has to be very active. Way more than usual when I'm doing this kind of thing. Here, there are decisions to be made. And my brain is like, whoa, trying to think of a million things at once, help! Help! But it's okay, I think my brain's got this. It's doing a good job. Don't worry about it so much. You've got this, brain. That, what I was trying there did not look good, so I'm gonna try something else. Nah. I can already tell for the back ones, I'm probably gonna make very liberal use of Krita's various scatter brushes. Once again, I'll just trace over them, but I think they will help me out here. Whereas here, I'm doing something a little different. This is not exactly a splatter, it's a wave. That's why I wanted to make a little wave there. I think that's just what my brain was thinking about. It's like, yeah, this isn't a splatter, it's a wave. So it looks a little bit different. Paint does not look the same flying in the air as it does when it finally hits the wall. So it kind of bothered me that a lot of my initial photo references that I could find were all about the paint hitting the wall. And I'm glad I was able to find one where it was still flying through the air before it hit anything. Because that's what let me figure out what shapes I needed here. Alright, back up. That is what let me figure out what shapes were necessary here. I gotta be careful about those angular forms that I apparently like so much. Because I don't think they look very good with paint. Paint, not angular when it's flying through the air. Just blob. 100% blob. So I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Got an itch. Okay. Also, my foot is falling asleep. Alas, I cannot quite enter the Zen state here. Because my brain is like chugging. It's chugging. It's doing its best. It really wants to carve out these shapes properly. And it is not super easy. Oh man, but this is gonna look so cool when it's done. I'm so excited. I am. Okay, I knew the day would come when I had to draw this, so I had been preparing myself mentally. I kind of figured it wouldn't be easy since I hadn't drawn anything quite like it before. And I kind of know how I get when I draw new things. Just very particular. I mean, even when I'm not drawing new things, I'm pretty particular, but there are degrees of particularness, and it's way worse when I'm drawing something new. Nah. It's better thin. It's better like that. You wouldn't think that drawing random shapes like this would roast your brain, but, you know, here I am. Here I am. With a brain that is slightly toasty. Only slightly, though. I guess it could be worse. I guess it could be. And I think that's fine. I guess I'll continue around this inside part, and I'll go back and do the other side in a little bit. I'd been kind of switching sides a lot here, but I think I can afford to do one side and then the other at this point. I kinda feel like I know what I'm doing now. Kinda. More so than I did 5 minutes ago, so I'll take it. I do think a lot of the extra splatter that I plan on adding at the end will help a lot. I do. But I actually think I think it's looking pretty good. There's just a lot. There's just a lot. Like a lot. But look, I know this is just the first side, but I'm already kind of seeing the end. So yeah, I don't think I'll have any trouble actually finishing this paint blob today. Not sure about the other one, but I'm gonna try. I will do my best. I will do my best. Oh yeah, this part looks really good, actually. I can tell I was kind of getting the hang of it by this point. Nice. Yeah, and I guess I still have to do the yellow part in the back, but that'll be pretty straightforward. Because that's just, you know, background stuff. Alright, I'm not doing that side right now. Oh yeah, it's just background stuff, so I don't have to be quite as precise with it. So that'll be nice. Okay, and I'll go ahead and get this little chunk here, just because I'm right here. And then I'll head back over to the other side, and I'll go down that way. I don't think I properly went through all this. That's okay, I can do it now. I can do it now. And you know what? When I'm done with stream today, and my brain is all fried from trying to figure out how paint works, that sounds like a perfect time to go in and just start drawing another random face. Another random head to go make a time-lapse video out of. Seems perfect. Go melt my brain again while I try to figure out how to bring more structure into my paintings and continue my quest to figure out how to draw fast. Yes. Soon I will be able to draw at lightning speed and it will be wonderful. And then I will not have to spend a whole bunch of time figuring out how paint works. I'll just be able to do things fast. It'll be fast. Nah. That one's no good. This one's pretty okay, though. This one gets what it's gotta do. Okay. Gotta shape all of this still. But it's getting there. It's getting there, slowly but surely. Definitely looks like a wave of paint, so I'm happy, albeit tired. Sometimes when I get like this, I do just go and work on a different part for a little while, but I think I'm fine. I want to get through the paint. I want to get through all the paint. Okay. I think that's probably fine for down there. Yeah, I think so. Okay, time to go down this side. Let's go. I'm probably more than 2/3 of the way through, I think. Maybe. My brain has never been good at judging these things, so... You know what? It can believe what it wants to believe as long as it keeps it motivated. We got this, brain. Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. I mean, yeah, all you have to do is look at it and just look how much more paint-like it is. Like, just look at that. It's so much more paint-like. So much. Man, now I'm just trying to think of the last time I touched paint, and it's been a while. I mean, I'm a digital painter, so I don't really touch traditional materials that often. And I mean, one of the reasons that I really like digital is because I don't really want to touch a lot of traditional materials. They're messy. And I am also allergic to the smell of paint. It makes me feel absolutely miserable. More accurately, I'd say that I'm just extremely sensitive to smells. And paint is kind of smelly. Paint, kind of smelly. I remember that this was actually kind of a problem when I was in college because I was forced to take a bunch of art classes and I didn't like them much. I think because I was a programming student that a lot of teachers just immediately dismissed me as not an artist, which I think is kind of a shame. And then the fact that I was interested in digital on top of that, it's like, yep. Unfortunate. It's like, man, the computer student interested in computers. Truly a shocking turn of events. But I just remember having to mess with smelly paint, and I hated it. Or charcoal, which gets very dusty. And I didn't really like that either. It made me very sneezy. I actually have tried traditional materials before, and nothing against them. I just so much prefer digital. Digital just makes me happy. We do so many things, and computers are cool. Love technology. I want to look at my reference again here. Yeah, I can also kind of be doing things with this kind of pattern. I think that might look kind of cool. Yeah, I think it does. Try to mix up some of the shapes a little bit still. I feel like I've been making the same 3 for the past 10 minutes. Gotta keep things interesting. Not just for me drawing, but for how the final picture will look. Gotta be interesting. It's no good if the picture's boring, right? Okay. So, I will want to add a little bit of splatter, but how are we looking so far? Oh yeah, that looks really good. Let me make it yellow so I can actually get a better idea of what I'm working with here. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It looks pretty paint-like. Maybe also a little bit more fire-like than I intended. It's fine. It can be a ring of fire too. Okay, I'm still gonna make it blue, and I'm gonna go back. And I'm gonna go to the background and work on this part. And just the little bit of stuff that's in the background. And we'll make this look nice too. This entire ring is gonna get into its finished state. Just the whole dang thing. These guides definitely served me well, but it is time to retire them. It is time to retire them. Because there's new shapes in town, and they are more accurate to paint. Some of the lines I had there, I'm kind of keeping around. But a lot of them are getting replaced here. Okay, that all seems pretty alright here, and then it just connects right there, so I think when I go ahead and turn the big streak here back into yellow, they should just blend together seamlessly, and all should be well. Really does look like fire, doesn't it? Do I do something about that? I actually think it's fine. I think it looks okay. Let's go make it splattery. So I made a new layer here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab... Do I want this one? What are you gonna do for me? No, I don't think that's what I'm looking for. So Krita has a few splatter brushes just in the defaults. And then this is just circles, right? Yeah, not what I'm looking for. So I think this is the one I used last time. And then there's also this one, which kind of does more of a spread. I think just this guy will do what I want to do the most. Some of it I might just be able to keep like that, but I do want to go over parts of it with a proper high opacity brush. Oh yeah, and over here needs a lot. And of course, this layer is going to be deleted in the end. This is just a guideline to kind of help me out. So I probably won't use all of these dots. I'm only going to grab the ones that I think are necessary here. Because, yeah, this is too much. Definitely. But it'll help get me started, so I'll take it. And I'm gonna invert your colors. Reduce your opacity. And now we will make this splatter. All over the place. Some of them will get tails, some of them won't. It's fine either way. Just gotta draw them now. But I think that's gonna be the last thing for this layer, and I think then it'll be ready to be shaded, and that's probably what I'll do next time. So hopefully we can get through this and maybe like her hand or something. Or we'll see if I just really want to work on her face some more. Because I might. It's like, it's all well and good to try to be systematic in the way I approach the painting here. But sometimes there is just something I want to draw. And I do not think that there's anything wrong with embracing that. Also sounds like my kids are having an absolute blast upstairs. They are derping so hard, I swear. Okay, I was very particular about the amount of noise cancellation I put on things. And it's not really important that I follow it one-to-one. You can see that I'm missing quite a few here and there, and some of them I'm not even, like, tracing in the exact same spot that I had them drawn on, and that's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. And these ones are small, so I'm just gonna do a bunch of small dots around where I see the bigger splatters. And then after this, we got one more blob of paint to get. I'm gonna get the pink paint. And I hope I'm able to finish that today. Well, not finish shading or anything. I just want to get the outline. Because I think that layer is already looking a little bit better than this one was. This one was very much just a big placeholder blob. Whereas that one, I kind of worried about getting the shape of the paint a little bit more. Okay. So I'm hoping that one will be a little bit easier than this one was. I guess I wouldn't say that this was necessarily hard. It just took a lot of brain power, and my brain was like, I hope this is okay the entire time. Brains are like that sometimes. It's okay. It's doing its best. It's okay. This is just another case of it's a lot. So it takes me a hot second to get through it all. Yep, definitely takes a sec to get through it all. But I think it'll look really good once I have it all down. Shame the brush has a little bit of opacity. Otherwise, I'd consider using it properly, but I don't know. I don't like having variable opacity in images I plan to make transparent. And this one's gonna have a transparent background, so I do not want it to have some transparent parts. Do not. Some of these I definitely should have put on the back layer, but, oh well. Mistakes were made, it's fine. I think it'll work out just fine. And then that, I realized that I did not fix. I'll just give this a little tail here. There we go. I do want it to kind of peek out around her waist there. I think that's cute. Give it a little bit of splatter. Okay, now it looks like I'm going to be working my way back up the other side here. Then I might flop and watch speed paint or something after stream today before I jump back into things. Although, no, wait, what am I talking about? My kids wanted to go to the park. I'll probably do that. If the weather holds out, that is indeed what I will do. So there we go. Okay. Let's see how it's doing. Oh yeah, that definitely helped. And I feel like there's a few too many around this one. Over here too. I'm just gonna clear some of the ones I don't like as much. But overall, yes, a very worthwhile change. Okay. So I think I'm gonna call that good. We'll see how I feel about it next time, or if I feel like it's too fire-like. So, let's go and do some of the pink ones. I actually think the pink ones are looking okay. I was mentioning that. I think they're pretty okay. They might need a little bit of extra help from the splatter brush too, but for now, I don't actually think that I have to pull too many shenanigans with these guys. And I think I can just kind of go in and clean it up and all will be well. Add in some other paint shapes and all that lovely stuff. And once again, I'm not really concerning myself with shading or anything. I'm just going in and getting this outer shape the way I want it to be. That is all. And then I'm also going back over the edges here because some of them are kind of blurry. Don't want to leave anything blurry either. And this blob on her face is especially important, so I want to give it a nice, thorough cleaning. Because it is on her face, and that just immediately means that people are probably going to see it. Because people will be looking at her face, and thus this. Even though it is not, you know, strictly like on her face, it's in front of it, flying around. It's still overlapping. And that's what actually matters. Yeah, and all of this is just flying around near her head, so I want to make sure that it's all looking pretty good. I think it's all looking pretty good, fortunately. So I don't think I have my work cut out for me or anything. It's just gotta spend the time getting that last little bit just right. Take it from the random blobs I just put down as a placeholder into a finalized version. Actually, no, that looks good, so I'm gonna leave it there. Just a tiny little streak. Yeah, this side is proving to be a little bit more straightforward. I was a little bit more deliberate in how I painted this the first time. Alright, I think this is already like halfway around, so that's pretty sweet. Looks like I will indeed have no trouble getting through all of this. And next time, I will have clean paint to work with, and what's next time, like Thursday? Yep, I think so. Man, having to wait until Thursday to work on this again is gonna be rough. As much as my brain hurts from working on all this, it's a very fun painting. And I'm glad I made it. It's gonna be real hard to just ignore it for that many days. Just not be able to work on it. I'll have to distract myself with more art. Do some more headshots so I can post more shorts. Master the art of drawing heads quickly. I just did a little more practice with that this morning, not the drawing the head part, but opening up a photo reference and seeing what I could do with it. I think I actually talked about that earlier, but my brain doesn't really remember anything right now. It is here. The world is paint. There is nothing else. I like that line though, so I don't really want to get rid of it. I think it's a good line. I do want to clean it up slightly though, because I see there's a little bit of blurriness around the edge there. Some of these I feel like they're getting a little too close together here, so I think I'm gonna move like these guys. Just gonna make a little selection around them, and I'm gonna push them down here. Rotate just a little. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, and I think I'm gonna take this big gun here, and I'm gonna move him a little bit to the right. Pretty sure I've missed a spot there. Oh, definitely missed a spot there because I hit Alt instead of Shift. I always forget which one adds and which one subtracts. Okay, there we go. Now I feel like there's a little bit more, I don't know, variance. Actually gonna add another little guy right here. Just a little guy. Okay. Okay, there's only a little bit left. I'm so tired. I am so tired now. Art is hard. Art is so hard. Okay, so then I have a bunch on her bangs. I wanted it to look like it was like sweeping off her bangs. That also reminds me that there's supposed to be a gradient on the tips of her hair here, but I think I'll do that once I finish the other side. I'll just do the gradient on both at once. That sounds like a good idea. How do I want to do this anyway? Man, I don't know. Okay, well, let's make this into a paint shape. As opposed to the kind of random line it is now. And... I guess I'll separate these two. This will be its own little blob now. I think I'm just gonna clear that. These guys are all gonna move up a little, kind of follow the bangs. I don't want to completely cover them though, because they're so fluffy and wonderful. The hair looks great, and I want people to see it. I'm not sure what's going around here, but it looks like paint, I guess. It'll be fine. It's paint-like. Add some shapes like this. I think that'll look okay. And there we go, I think. I think that looks pretty alright. Nice little splatter going on there. I feel like you're a little bit too angular. Let me shave off those angles there. Okay, so now I think I just got the ones here. So, let's get this one. Let's get this one. Not the biggest of the group, but not the smallest. Just right in the middle. Right in the middle. There we go. I think that's a pretty nice little shape. Okay. So let's do this next big one here. And I actually don't really like how this is overlapping with the hair ribbon. I still want it to overlap with the hair ribbon, so I'm just going to let it overlap with the green part instead. I think that'll make it a little easier to read. But I want it to overlap with the green ribbon because it'll make it clear that the paint is in front. That is the easiest way to do basic perspective. Just full caveman. If it is in front, it on top. Put it on top. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. Okay. I'm just gonna let this splatter around a little bit. Probably got about 10 more minutes, but I think I should be able to get the splatter brush and do the splatter brush things before that time is up. I've only got these couple of little paint blobs left to go. And they're fairly little. So it'll be fine. All is well. Just make it kind of streaky and paint-like, I guess. I don't like the shape here. Okay, that's better. Okay, I think that's all the paint cleaned up there. Let me go ahead and put in some splatter. I don't think this one needs quite as much. So we're going to keep it pretty simple. I just want a little bit here and there. And then I think all will be well. Okay. Phew. I will be sure to take a good rest after all this. Drawing things that you've never drawn before is hard. Art is hard. But I do want there to be just a little bit of splatter here and there. I think it makes things look a little bit more paint-like. Just a little bit, though. Even this might be a little bit too much. I'll be sure to take a look once it's all done. After all, you can't turn off your brain when you're doing art. You gotta think about all the things that you're doing at all times. Your work will turn out much better if you're able to do that. Because if you just go on autopilot, well, things are gonna happen. And it'll be awkward. Okay, that should be good. Let's see how it looks. Pretty good, I'd say. Alright, let's go ahead and I'll give her her arm. I kind of want to turn the lighting that I worked on back on. I want to take a look at that. There we go. It does indeed look a little bit fire-like right now. Hopefully I can fix that with proper shading and make it look shiny instead of burning. But I might need to adjust the edge. We'll see how I feel about things on Thursday. But this is definitely where I'll be stopping for today. Oh boy. Brain's gonna get a little rest now. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.